unclear when the following exchange took place, but my best guess is 1958. One evening, the great insult comedian and actor Don Rickles was headlining at Murray Franklin's nightclub in Miami Beach. Suddenly, in walked none other than Frank Sinatra with his entourage. Old Blue Eyes and his crew sat down. The audience became excited and nervous. Rickles read the room, looked at Sinatra, announced his presence, and smiled. Then he said something that not only shocked the audience, but put him on the map of comedy. What did Rickles say? Well, first I got to tell you a few things so that you can appreciate the moment. Thing number one. While I'm sure you know that Frank Sinatra was one of the greatest singers of the 20th century, you might not know that he was also an out-of-control and kind of scary guy. Sinatra went nuts on a pretty regular basis. He threw things at people. Clocks, pitchers of water, a telephone that fractured somebody's skull. One day, he physically attacked none other than John Wayne. He assaulted a waiter for getting his hamburger wrong after he changed the order 3 times. He wound up in court after beating up a reporter. Sinatra once got so angry at his friends in a restaurant that he rushed into the joint's coat room and tore up their clothes. Thing number 2. Maybe you've heard of Don Rickles, maybe not. But if you have, you should not assume that his fame and success were inevitable. Rickles could have easily spent his whole life as an obscure loser doing third-rate routines at third-rate strip clubs and dives. Up until this moment, he'd been struggling with his career, which boiled down to hurling ethnic slurs at patrons who complained that he wasn't all that funny. "You're Italian, right?" Rickles responded to a critic. "I knew it, none of your clothes match." He made fun of the noses of Jewish patrons. To a black couple, he literally declared, "You two look like you fell into a barrel of M&Ms." Yuck! Not a whole lot of class in any of this. But on that night at Murray Franklin's, something brilliant clicked in Rickles. He looked at Sinatra straight in the eye and he said, "Make yourself at home, Frank. Hit somebody." Everybody in the room sucked in their breath. People nearby looked at the great crooner, waiting for his reaction, and when Sinatra started laughing, so did everybody else. On that night, humorously confronting Frank Sinatra, Rickles discovered a rule that we should remember today. If you're going to take a rhetorical punch at somebody, make sure that somebody is above you, not below. Punch up, not down. Sinatra may have been crazy, but he admired courage. Now he became one of Rickles' biggest fans. The comment literally launched the comedian's career. Of course, Sinatra only had so much patience for this kind of treatment. Not long after that famous exchange at Murray Franklin's, Rickles moved to Las Vegas. One evening he was taking an attractive lady to dinner at the Sands Hotel, when there was Frank Sinatra again, walking into the lounge. "My God," the lady said to Rickles, "that's Frank Sinatra. Do you know him?" "Do I know him?" Rickles replied. "We're like brothers." "I don't believe you," she answered. So while his friend was visiting the ladies' room, Rickles walked over to Sinatra and, hat in hand, made a desperate request. Would he please just walk over to their table and say, "Hello, Don," later in the evening, just 2 words. About 20 minutes later, Sinatra strolled over to their table. "Hello, Don," he said. "How are you?" To which Rickles replied, "Not now, Frank. Can't you see I'm with somebody?" Sinatra fell down on the floor laughing. According to Rickles' autobiography, quote, 2 minutes later, 2 security agents and a couple of Sinatra's friends came over, picked me up, and carried me over their heads and out of the sands. I never saw that gal again, Rickles concluded. I went home, and I made love to my pillow.